Another thing that we would sell is the pecans. Tell you how that worked. Now, we moved into this place, right? And it was at one time a nice big mansion, big front porch, swimming pool. There was a chestnut tree down the gravel road on the other side of the bridge that crossed the creek. They planted a chestnut tree. And those things were kind of hard to work with, but amazingly, and the pecan trees must have been there because that's what I remember doing. The children, the three younger ones, and Pop. Well, it's kind of like that place was neglected a long time. And the pecan trees and the chestnut trees, see, stuff like that needs fertilizing. You put the fertilizer at the drip line, and that's at the edge of the branches. See, all like a circle around them. But by some miraculously, they just had a bumper crop of. Didn't fool with the chestnuts. Was kind of ignorant about those. I still am. I don't know. They were like prickly things around them, and how the hell are you gonna? And then once you're supposed to roast them, right? The Christmas song, roasted chestnuts on the open fire. Well, and that was just one tree, as I recall. But so there was so many pecans. Somebody had invented a mechanical machine. And it used a rubber band or two, and it was like kind of like maybe that long, and then say about a foot long, maybe longer, and then about 4 inches wide and 4 inches tall. You get the idea. Wood and metal and some kind of rubber latex band, and it had the shape like a nuts, the shape of pecans, and like cut in half like a little cup, a tiny little cup, and they would one of each, so you'd place the nut in the holder halfway into the cup, the other half exposed, and then the other thing was exactly the same shape, and you'd pull it and slam it, impacting upon impact, the shell would shatter, and you can make a lot of de-hull them really fast. And I remember this about those pecans. You gotta, we should have used some little screwdriver. I don't know what we must have used. I don't know how we did it, but you gotta make sure you get these guts, if you want to call it that, things out of them with a real fine, big sewing needle or a tiny little screwdriver, something. Get that out, because if you bite into one that has that still remaining junk inside the pecan, it's a very, very bitter taste and not happening. So we would take them and just make massive amounts. We must have found tons of these things and put them in plastic bags and take them door to door and sell them. And you have these 3 cute little kids. Once again, I don't like to be referred to as cute, but I'm sure my little sister was. And how can they say no? And we made a decent amount of money. I don't know how we divided it up. So that was what we would sell. And also, later on, I guess what eventually happened, somebody explained my father, well, those things just aren't going to keep growing without you fertilizing. He didn't know anything about farming. his grandfather and another guy owned a general store a long time ago in the Depression era, in the 20s and the Depression and all that. And he recalled, I think they had a horse that pulled a carriage, maybe later a Model T. He recalls riding with the horse, though, with his father to go collect the produce to bring back to the store. So, yeah. Well, like I say, I think then maybe the first year was good, maybe the second, maybe there had only been 2 harvests. Eventually the creosote would have ran out, and I tell you what, a whole bunch of people would have had soot all in their chimneys. Could have got cookies with somebody who, we got a spare donut in the front, so this thing is just going to really run screwy now. 10 miles an hour. See what happened. Another endeavor was this is the cheesy thing that I really don't like. It's kind of cool if you can get wild stuff to sell. You don't have any overhead to speak of. That's one thing, but he was selling these. He had us all next. He had us selling these candy bars. I remember the name of the company, Top of the Road. So he found a way that you couldn't find them in the store. So that's just, I just don't like companies that put people under that, because they cut way too much into your profit. So I don't know. I just felt you feel exploited